Hello, this video is part of the What is EDR series. In this video, I'm going to try and explain why EDR is different to other behaviour management packages and why that means it could be right for you and your setting. I'll start with a disclaimer. I'm a teacher, not a lawyer, so if I'm referring to current legislation and guidance, this is my opinion and this is my opinion today. So I want to talk about this book, Rebel Ideas by Matthew Syed. I read this book recently and thoroughly recommend it. It's a great read, full of great ideas. What's significant about this book for me is that it suddenly made EDR clear. It gave me a vocabulary to talk about it and why it's different and why it's effective. Rebel Ideas has given me a vocabulary to talk about why EDR works so well, and I want to share some of that vocabulary and talk about how it relates to EDR now. So the first idea taken from the book is the idea of diversity. Diversity is really at the heart of the book, but we're not talking about social diversity, and it's important to make that distinction. Diversity in this context is not about having the politically correct proportions of women on SLT or BAME candidates called for interview. What Matthew Syed is talking about when he uses the phrase diversity is diversity of thought or diversity of ideas. Teams generate the best ideas when the members of the team are able to see a problem from a diverse range of angles. Everyone looks at problems through their own lens, and that lens is coloured by their own experience and their own education. If the colour of everyone's lens is broadly the same, then there will be aspects to any problem that are invisible to the team. And you can't solve a problem if you can't see the problem. Having diversity of ideas in a team means that the problem can be viewed through a range of coloured lenses that reveal a wider problem spectrum. Your school staff can wear the face of diversity, but if essentially every black, Asian minority ethnic person, every LGBT person, every man and every woman were brought up in middle-class England, went through the same education system and came out with the same or similar qualifications, then there will be a distinct lack of diversity of ideas. Ask 10 of these socially diverse people to come up with 10 solutions to a problem, and they may well come up with the same 10 ideas. If there is genuine diversity of thought and diversity of ideas in the group, then 10 white women might come up with 10 different ideas each, a total of 100 ideas for the team. This resonated with me. I started to see the pillars of EDR as coloured lenses through which risk management and behaviour leadership problems could be viewed, with each of those 5 lenses revealing different parts of the problem spectrum. The second term used in Matthew Syed's book is homophily. Homophily is the tendency for people to gravitate towards people who are similar and eventually for people to mirror each other, especially in the ideas and thoughts. Schools with a strong ethos aligned to a particular pedagogy or behaviour philosophy will attract candidates that already align themselves with that approach. When we seek to move schools, we visit, looking for a setting that sits well with our own personal ethos. But there is a danger in this, and the danger is summed up in the term homophily. If everyone shares the same ethos, they see problems through the same coloured lenses, and they then offer the same solutions to the same problems. As humans, we love to have our ideas validated, and pretty soon we're working in what Matthew Syed calls an information bubble, where rebel ideas become alien ideas. So here's an example of how the process works. A school puts out an ad for a new post. Candidates come for a visit. They read the information on the website. They do some research and they decide, yes, here is a school that shares my values and ideas. Here is a school where I can fit in. This candidate is more likely to be successful. They will be more likely to give the answers that the school leaders are looking to hear at interview. We all like to hear our views validated. The new candidate will accept the post. The school seems a good fit. and they will then be inducted into policy and practice. This is how we do things here. We are social beings. We want to fit in, and therefore we accelerate the processes of homophily. We regurgitate the messages of induction until we are fluent and can take our place alongside our new colleagues. Now, apply this to risk management, behaviour leadership problems. Imagine a school with this strong ethos, a clear vision that all staff buy into, and a clear behaviour management strategy. Imagine a teacher at this school who struggles to manage the behaviour of a student. They apply all the behaviour management strategies and principles as set out in this school's very clear policy, but nothing works. The student's behaviour is escalated to be managed by the next identified structure in the behaviour management strategy. But the next layer brings the student and their behaviour under the same prism, viewing it from the same framework. This new member of staff has only the exact same tools and strategies to apply as the previous member of staff had. Now, sometimes this will work, partly because of the hierarchy that some students perceive and follow. I've walked into many situations as a deputy head and used exactly the same strategies as a teacher has been using, and the students complied. They've recognised that because it's me talking to them, it's now time to stop. But this doesn't work with all students, and the behaviour is escalated to the next stage and to the next stage until eventually the child falls off the cliff. And school staff point to a robust system, to a clear policy. Everyone has followed the policy that has worked for the majority, followed it to the letter. And because it's worked for the majority, the problem is perceived to be in the child. So why is EDR different? Well, EDR doesn't align itself to a particular philosophy. It's neither prog or trad, to use the populist Twitter binary. As long as it fits the current legal framework, schools can do whatever works for them in their setting. What EDR does do is force staff at all levels to wear different coloured lenses so that they can see a wider range of the problem spectrum. The 5 pillars provide a framework for staff as individuals and staff in teams to generate rebel ideas as a matter of policy and practice. In our student example, if I wear the positive behaviour support glasses and look through that lens, what do I see in the problem? What does this tell me about possible solutions? The 5 lenses can still be totally consistent with any behaviour policy, but they serve as a systematic defence against homophily and actively promote diversity of thought.